In this episode, we're taking a close look at 6 of the most valuable and surprisingly expensive United States ultra-rare wartime nickels ever minted. These aren't ordinary 5-cent pieces. They're historic coins from a critical moment in American history, struck with a special silver alloy composition and marked with bold mint letters that set them apart from the rest of the Jefferson series. Even the rough, dirty, and well-circulated examples can carry serious value today. Let's get started. First up, we're exploring one of the most fascinating and unexpectedly valuable coin from the World War II era, the United States ultra-rare Jefferson wartime nickel from 1944 with the Philadelphia Mint mark. Even in very dirty and heavily circulated condition, this coin attracts serious attention from collectors because of its unusual composition, bold mint mark, and the remarkable prices it can reach when the right combination of rarity, condition, and demand come together. This is not just an ordinary 5-cent piece. It's a wartime relic, a collectible powerhouse, and a coin that continues to prove how even the most common pocket change can turn out to be a hidden treasure. The story of the 1944 P. Jefferson wartime nickel begins with the economic pressure of World War II. Nickel metal was urgently needed for military production, particularly armor plating, which forced the U.S. Mint to change the composition of the 5-cent coin. From 1942 to 1945, the Mint produced these special silver alloy nickels containing 35% silver, which gives them a very different look, feel, and long-term value compared to regular nickels. The year 1944 stands out because production numbers were high, yet survival in collectible condition is surprisingly low. These coins were made quickly, circulated hard, and endured harsh conditions during and after the war. That background alone makes the 1944 P an important chapter in American wartime history and a coin that represents a physical reminder of the sacrifices and industrial shifts of the era. When you study the design of the 1944 P wartime nickel, the details reveal exactly why collectors love it. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's portrait shows broad, smooth surfaces that often highlight wear, making strong surviving examples even more desirable. The lettering, the date, and the overall strike often vary, so finding well-struck examples becomes part of the thrill. On the reverse, Monticello appears with sharper architectural lines on well-preserved coins, but heavy circulation usually flattens those details. The most important identifying feature is the large P mint mark placed above Monticello. This oversized mint mark was used only during the wartime silver nickel years, making it instantly recognizable and historically significant. Even in dirty condition, the bold mint mark is the first thing collectors look for because it confirms the coin's wartime silver status and its eligibility for higher value. Rarity plays a stronger role for this coin than most people realize. While millions were minted, relatively few survive in solid collectible condition, and even fewer remain with their original luster or sharp design detail. The wartime silver alloy wore down faster than regular nickel coins, which means many examples today are heavily worn, stained, or dirty from decades of circulation. For high-grade survivors, the numbers drop sharply and demand skyrockets. Even in low-grade condition, the combination of silver content, wartime backstory, and continued collector interest keeps this coin valuable. The scarcity becomes more intense when you move into upper grades, where prices can jump dramatically because competition among collectors becomes far more aggressive. Collector demand for the 1944 P. Jefferson wartime nickel has remained strong for decades, and it continues to increase as more people rediscover wartime coinage and precious metal varieties. This coin stands out in the Jefferson Nickel series because it is one of the few regular-issue 5-cent pieces made of silver, which immediately separates it from standard coins. It also appeals to collectors who focus on World War II numismatics, silver coinage, and transitional years in U.S. Mint history. The combination of historical importance, unique composition, and large mint mark makes it visually distinct and instantly recognizable. Its ability to climb in value, even in dirty condition, puts it in a category that appeals to both entry-level collectors and experienced investors. In today's market, value ranges for the 1944 P wartime nickel can be impressive. In heavily circulated and dirty condition, it often trades anywhere between $1 and $10 depending on eye appeal and detail visibility. Once you enter mid-grade territory, prices can rise into the $20 to $50 range. High-grade certified examples with sharp strikes and strong luster can reach several $100s. Some exceptional pieces have crossed into the $1,000 range when they exhibit nearly flawless surfaces, bold detail, and top-tier grading. The silver content alone gives it a base intrinsic value, but collector demand is what pushes the top prices far beyond normal 5-cent expectations. For collectors, the key is to focus on condition, detail sharpness, and overall eye appeal. Even very dirty or stained coins can be valuable, so avoid cleaning them. Look for clear detail on Jefferson's portrait, strong steps on Monticello, and a bold P-mint mark. If you suspect a coin may qualify for higher grading, consider professional certification because it can dramatically increase value. This coin remains one of the most interesting and accessible wartime pieces in all of American numismatics. It carries historical depth, distinctive features, and real financial potential that make it appealing to both new collectors and longtime enthusiasts. Its rise in value, even in rough condition, shows how important it has become in today's market. As we wrap up this segment, stay with us because the next coin in this series may hold even more surprises and could be the next hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. And secondly, we're going to explore the most valuable and rare. The 1945 Jefferson Wartime Nickel with the Philadelphia Mint mark stands out as one of the most fascinating and highly sought-after pieces in American numismatics. Even in very dirty condition, it captures the attention of collectors who recognize just how important this coin is in the history of United States currency. This wartime 5-cent piece has become a prized treasure because it represents a rare combination of historical legacy, unique wartime composition, and strong market demand. Enthusiasts continue to pursue it for the excitement it brings to a coin collection, knowing that coins like this have the power to transform ordinary discoveries into something far more valuable. The historical importance of the 1945 wartime nickel begins with the moment the United States shifted its resources to support the country during World War II. Between 1942 and 1945, the mint changed the traditional nickel composition to conserve critical metals. The 1945 issue from Philadelphia was minted during the final year of wartime production, making it a tangible connection to one of the most defining periods in American history. While it doesn't commemorate a specific individual or event, its very existence is tied to the national effort of resource preservation. It stands today as a piece of America's wartime resilience and a reminder of the sacrifices made during those challenging years. This coin offers several distinct features that elevate its appeal. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's profile remains sharp and dignified, symbolizing leadership and stability. The reverse features the classic depiction of his Monticello home, a design admired for its architectural detail and historical symbolism. The most important identifying mark on this coin is the large P mint mark positioned above Monticello, a signature trait of all wartime nickels. Its composition of 35% silver, along with copper and manganese, gives it a unique appearance compared to standard nickels. These characteristics, paired with its wartime alloy, create a coin that is instantly recognizable and visually striking, especially when found in higher grades. Rarity plays a major role in the excitement surrounding the 1945 wartime nickel. Although millions were minted, surviving examples in excellent condition are far less common. Many circulated heavily during the post-war years, developing wear, scratches, and discoloration. Finding one in uncirculated or near-mint condition is a challenge that attracts collectors who understand the difficulty of preserving such coins across decades. Even varieties like full-step strikes, strong die impressions, or minor die doubling can increase the desirability of specific pieces. A very dirty condition example may seem ordinary at first glance, but the true value emerges when collectors identify special qualities hidden beneath the surface. The market value of the 1945 wartime nickel continues to benefit from strong collector interest. Well-preserved examples, particularly those with crisp detail and eye appeal, can reach price ranges between $1,000 and $9,500 depending on rarity and grade. Coins with full steps, strong die varieties, or exceptional luster often climb higher due to increased demand and limited availability. This value is supported by auction results and private sales that show consistent appreciation over time. Historical importance, silver content, and iconic design all play a role in pushing prices upward, making this nickel an attractive choice for long-term collectors and investors alike. For collectors hoping to secure a strong example of the 1945p wartime nickel, careful selection is essential. Prioritize coins that show sharp detail, minimal wear, and well-defined features. Certified coins from reputable grading companies offer added confidence, especially when seeking high-grade or variety examples. When examining raw coins, check the Monticello steps, the clarity of the P mint mark, and the overall crispness of the design. Storage is equally important. Using airtight holders, avoiding unnecessary touching, and keeping the coin away from humidity helps preserve its condition. Engaging with collector groups and following market updates can also provide valuable insight into pricing trends and new discoveries. The appeal of this nickel extends beyond its design. It represents a moment in time when the nation shifted its resources toward victory and unity. That historical connection gives the 1945p issue a depth that separates it from ordinary circulation coins. In very dirty condition, it still carries the story of its era. Enthusiasts appreciate it for the way it blends history and artistry, turning a small wartime adjustment into something unforgettable. It's this sense of meaning that keeps collectors searching for better examples, hoping to uncover that one piece that feels like a museum-worthy treasure. The enduring fascination with the 1945p Jefferson wartime nickel continues to grow as collectors recognize how few coins manage to combine history, rarity, and value in such a compelling way. Even when found in very dirty condition, this wartime piece carries an undeniable charm that immediately sets it apart from ordinary nickels. Its silver-based composition, the bold P mint mark, and its ties to a defining moment in American history give it a sense of importance that resonates with seasoned numismatists and new collectors alike. As more people search for rare wartime issues, the strongest examples of the 1945p nickel are becoming harder to find, especially those with crisp details hidden beneath years of circulation wear. This growing demand has helped reinforce the coin's status as a prized treasure, one that not only offers strong market value, but also delivers the thrill of holding a physical reminder of the nation's wartime struggle and the craftsmanship of mid-20th century American coinage. The 1945p Jefferson wartime nickel remains a powerful symbol of American history, numismatic artistry, and collector ambition. Its unique composition, historical background, scarcity in high grades, and strong market demand make it one of the standout coins from the wartime nickel series. For collectors who appreciate coins that bring together rarity, beauty, and real historical significance, this piece offers everything they hope for. Adding it to a collection is more than an achievement. It feels like securing a piece of the past that continues to rise in importance and value, making it a rewarding choice for anyone passionate about old coins and the stories they carry. And thirdly, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and sought-after coin in American numismatics, the most rare and valuable 1943 Jefferson wartime nickel with the Philadelphia P mint mark. A coin that looks humble, often appears downright dirty, but holds a story and a value that far surpasses its face denomination. This isn't just a 5-cent piece. It's a tangible piece of World War II history, and for collectors, a true prize that represents a key victory in assembling a complete set. The collectability of this specific coin hinges entirely on its metallic composition. In 1943, the United States was fully engaged in the Second World War, and nickel was a critical war material, essential for hardening steel for armor plating and other military applications. Using this valuable resource for coinage became unthinkable. So, from mid-1942 through 1945, the mint made a drastic change, removing nickel from the 5-cent piece entirely. The new wartime alloy was 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. This silver-based composition gives these nickels their distinctive gray, often dirty or dull appearance, and it's why they are often called wartime silver nickels. The 1943 P issue was the first full-year production from the Philadelphia Mint using this emergency composition, setting it apart as a cornerstone of the series. To understand the historical context, you have to picture the home front in 1943. Factories were churning out planes and tanks, rationing was in full effect, and every citizen was asked to contribute to the war effort. The Mint's contribution was to conserve vital metals. The Philadelphia Mint, operating without a mint mark as was tradition at the time, struck these new silver alloy nickels in enormous numbers, with over 270 million pieces produced. Yet, despite this high mintage, Finding one in any condition today is a challenge, and finding one in a high state of preservation is exceptionally difficult. These coins saw heavy circulation during the war years and in the economic boom that followed, leading to widespread wear and damage, making any survivor a notable find. The design of the coin, by Felix Schlag, remains the same as the pre-war nickels, but the metal gives it a completely different character. On the obverse, you have the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, but it's rendered in this dull gray tone rather than the brighter white of the regular nickel-silver alloy. The most prominent feature on this side is the large mint mark signifying its wartime status. For the first and only time in the series until much later, the mint mark is placed prominently above the depiction of Monticello on the reverse. And for Philadelphia minted coins, this is a huge deal because it's the only time the P mint mark appears on a regular issue Jefferson nickel until 1980. So, seeing that P on the reverse is an immediate identifier of its historic wartime origin. When we discuss the rarity and survival of the 1943 P nickel, the condition is absolutely everything. While millions were made, the vast majority were spent, saved in jars, or subjected to harsh environments, leading to the very dirty, corroded, or heavily worn surfaces we commonly see. Coins in lower grades, what we might call good or very good, are still collectible but are relatively available. The true rarity begins at the higher end of the grading scale. Examples that have survived with most of their original detail and without excessive environmental damage are very scarce. In mint state conditions, meaning uncirculated, the population drops dramatically. These coins were not saved in rolls in large numbers. People were focused on the war, not coin collecting. Furthermore, the silver manganese composition is notoriously prone to discoloration, spotting, and unattractive toning, so finding a problem-free, brilliant example is the real challenge for advanced collectors. The demand for this coin is perpetual and intense, driven by multiple segments of the hobby. First, you have the Jefferson Nickel series collectors who need this key date to complete their albums. Then, you have the specialists who focus solely on the Wartime series, seeking the finest examples for each year and mint. Finally, you have the large contingent of history buffs and World War II memorabilia collectors who see this coin not just as currency, but as an artifact. It stands out in the Jefferson Nickel series not necessarily for a low mintage figure, but for its survival rate and its iconic status as the first full year of the emergency issue. It is a cornerstone coin, without which a collection of the series feels incomplete. So, what is the market value for this piece of history in today's market? For a very low-grade, well-worn, and dirty example like the one we are showing on screen, you might be looking at a range of $1 to $2. It's an accessible entry point for a new collector to own the type. As we move up into the mid-range grades like extremely fine, the value climbs steadily to the $15 to $25 range for a decent, problem-free coin. The real fireworks begin in mint state. A mint state 63 example can command $100 to $150. Jump to a superb gem like MS65, and you are easily looking at $400 to $600 or more, with premium prices paid for coins with attractive, original luster and clean surfaces. The record prices are reserved for the absolute finest known examples, which can reach into the thousands. For collectors aiming to add this coin to their holdings, my advice is to focus intensely on the surfaces and the color. Because of the reactive alloy, many of these coins are spotted, streaky, or have an overall dirty appearance that is often just part of their character. You want to avoid coins with active corrosion or heavy damage, but don't be immediately put off by a consistent, dark gray patina. Buying a coin that has been professionally graded and encapsulated by PCGS or NGC is a very wise decision, especially for higher value specimens. This removes any questions of authenticity and gives you a clear benchmark for the condition. Look for it at reputable coin shows, through established online dealers, or in major auction house sales, and always examine the reverse first for that telltale large P over Monticello. The 1943 P. Jefferson Wartime Nickel is far more than 5 cents. It is a monument to a nation's resolve, a relic of a global conflict, and a numismatic classic that offers a challenge for every level of collector. Its rarity and high grade and its profound historical narrative ensure its place as one of the most important and valuable issues of the modern era. Whether you are a seasoned specialist or just beginning your journey into the hobby, owning one of these coins is to hold a small, significant piece of American history in the palm of your hand. And fourthly, we're talking about the most expensive and rare, the 1941 Jefferson nickel, without a mint mark, stands as a truly fascinating and highly sought-after piece within the realm of American numismatics, captivating enthusiasts with its deceptively common appearance that belies a significant and compelling story. This particular coin represents the final standard issue iteration of the series before the dramatic alterations brought on by World War II, making it a poignant and pivotal piece of history. Its appeal is not rooted in an astronomical mintage, but in its status as a pristine, high-grade survivor from an era on the cusp of global conflict, rendering it a prized treasure for specialists and general collectors alike. The market demand for this coin in superb condition remains consistently strong, driven by its historical significance and the inherent challenge of locating examples that have withstood the passage of time without wear, making it a cornerstone for any serious collection of Jefferson nickels. The historical context of the 1941 Jefferson nickel is deeply intertwined with both American artistry and the looming shadow of world events. Introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, the Jefferson design was the result of a competition and was first minted that year, with Felix Schlag's elegant designs honoring President Thomas Jefferson and his Monticello estate. The 1941 issue, specifically from the Philadelphia Mint, which is denoted by the absence of a mint mark, was produced in the final moments of peace before the United States entered World War II. This coin was minted in vast quantities for circulation, yet it serves as a tangible connection to the past, a last relic of the pre-war nickel before the urgent need to conserve nickel for the war effort led to the emergency composition of the 1942 to 1945 silver alloy wartime nickels. It commemorates a nation still at peace, but on the brink of monumental change, making it a silent witness to history. The unique features of the Jefferson nickel are a testament to American numismatic art, with the obverse featuring a dignified left-facing portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, accompanied by the inscriptions "In God We Trust" to the left, "Liberty," and the date 1941 to the right. The reverse is dominated by a detailed frontal view of Jefferson's iconic Virginia home, Monticello, below which is the denomination 5 cents and the national motto, E pluribus unum, above. The entire design is framed by a sturdy rim on both sides. Struck in the standard pre-war composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the coin possesses a distinctive white sheen in mint state, a visual appeal that is highly desirable when fully preserved. For the 1941 Philadelphia issue, the absence of a mint mark below the depiction of Monticello on the reverse is a key identifying feature, grounding this coin to its origin and adding to its classic, unadulterated design appeal. When discussing the rarity and condition of the 1941 no-mint mark nickel, it is crucial to clarify that while over 200 million were struck, making circulated examples quite common, the true rarity lies in specimens preserved in exceptionally high grades. The concept of rarity for this issue is almost entirely conditional. Finding a coin that has never been used in commerce and retains its full, original luster is a significant challenge. Millions of these coins entered circulation and were subjected to wear, abrasions, and environmental damage, so examples grading mint state 66 or higher are genuinely scarce, and those approaching the pinnacle grades of MS 67 or above are considered conditionally ultra-rare. This extreme scarcity in top-tier preservation is what drives intense collector demand, transforming an otherwise common date into a numismatic trophy that requires patience and a discerning eye to acquire. The market value for a 1941 Jefferson nickel from Philadelphia reflects this dramatic divergence based on condition. A well-worn, circulated example may be worth little more than its face value, but a specimen in gem uncirculated condition commands a substantial premium. For a coin graded MS 65, values can comfortably range from $1,000 to $2,000, while a superb gem MS 66 can see prices between $3,000 and $6,000. The truly ultra-rare examples in MS 67 condition represent the peak of the market, with auction records and private sales consistently achieving figures in the $2,000 to $8,000 range, with exceptional specimens sometimes reaching towards the $4,000 to $9,000 mark. These values are bolstered by the coin's historical importance as a pre-war issue and its stunning visual appeal when fully struck and blemish-free, showcasing a sharpness of detail and a vibrant, original cartwheel luster that captivates collectors. For the astute collector pursuing this classic issue, several key tips can guide a successful acquisition. The paramount advice is to prioritize condition and seek out coins that have been professionally graded and encapsulated by leading services such as PCGS or NGC. This guarantees the coin's authenticity and condition, which is especially critical for high-value investments. When inspecting a raw coin or a certified example, pay close attention to the high points of the design, particularly Jefferson's cheekbone and hair on the obverse, and the fine lines of the Monticello steps and columns on the reverse, as these areas are the first to show wear. It is always recommended to purchase from reputable dealers or established auction houses with a proven track record. Engaging with the numismatic community through clubs, forums, and major coin shows can provide invaluable insights, current market trends, and potential leads on acquiring a premium example. The allure of the 1941 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel in a pristine state is further magnified when one considers its role as a direct precursor to the entire Wartime nickel series, serving as the final and definitive example of the original metallic composition and classic design intent. Collectors deeply appreciate this coin not merely for its own substantial merits, but for the context it provides, forming an essential and dramatic before picture when displayed alongside the silver alloy nickels that followed just 1 year later. This historical juxtaposition creates a powerful narrative within a collection, making the 1941 issue a cornerstone that elevates the significance of the entire wartime period. The pursuit of such a high-grade specimen is therefore a pursuit of completeness and historical understanding, a quest to own a perfect moment frozen in time before the nation's coinage, and its very identity was altered by the demands of a global conflict. This deep-seated historical resonance, combined with the extreme difficulty of finding a coin that has survived 8 decades with its delicate luster and sharp strikes perfectly intact, solidifies its status as a blue-chip numismatic asset, an object of beauty that is as sound an investment as it is a captivating piece of American history. The 1941 Philadelphia Jefferson nickel in superb uncirculated condition is far more than just 5 cents. It is a masterful blend of American history, artistic design, and numismatic rarity. It stands as a proud and enduring symbol of a nation's coinage immediately before a period of great sacrifice and change, making it a highly prized collectible and a strong investment vehicle for the future. The pursuit of this coin in its finest state is a rewarding challenge that offers immense satisfaction, representing a tangible piece of a bygone era. For numismatists worldwide, securing a high-grade example of this issue is to secure a legacy, a small but powerful artifact that continues to captivate and inspire, ensuring its lasting value and appeal for generations of collectors to come. And at the end, we're going to explore the most valuable and expensive United States ultra-rare, the 1964 Jefferson nickel, without a mint mark, sits at the center of one of the most fascinating conversations in modern coin collecting, and for good reason. Even in a very dirty state, this coin carries a kind of mystery that keeps collectors searching day and night. Most people see a worn-out nickel and assume it's ordinary pocket change, but the truth is far more surprising. Some rare varieties and extraordinary conditions of 1964 nickels have shocked collectors with massive auction prices, proving that even a simple 5-cent coin can turn into a life-changing discovery. It's the kind of story that grabs the imagination because it shows how something overlooked for decades might suddenly reveal value no one expected. The year 1964 was a frantic time for American coinage. The country was facing a severe coin shortage, so the mint produced an enormous number of Jefferson nickels, over 1 billion in total. That huge production number makes it sound like all 1964 nickels are common, but hidden inside that massive mintage are rare varieties, special strikes, and high-grade survivors that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Even coins that look dirty or worn can sometimes belong to rare die varieties that collectors chase with incredible enthusiasm. This combination of high mintage and hidden rarity creates a perfect storm of curiosity and excitement for anyone digging through their coins. One reason collectors obsess over the 1964 nickel is the mystery of the special mint strikes. For years, rumors circulated about a small batch of specially made 1964 and 1964 D special mint set nickels, produced with sharper details and satin surfaces. These coins weren't intended for general release, yet a few examples surfaced decades later and stunned the hobby. Their striking quality, their rarity, and the unusual circumstances surrounding their creation instantly push them into the elite class of numismatic treasures. These are the coins that fetch tens of thousands of dollars, even when found in less than perfect condition. But the story doesn't end with special strikes. The regular circulation 1964 nickel carries its own secrets. Certain die varieties, like doubled dies, repunched mint marks on Denver issues, and rare die states, can transform a common nickel into a valuable rarity. Even though the coin you're holding may look dirty, worn, or unimpressive, the die variety might still be visible. Collectors are constantly hunting for these tiny details because they know how drastically they can change the value. These aren't just minor quirks, they're the features that turn pocket change into auction floor gold. The condition of the coin also plays a massive role. High-grade 1964 nickels, especially those with sharp steps on Monticello, known as full steps examples, are among the most desirable. Only a tiny fraction of the year's production has fully preserved steps due to weak strikes and worn dies. When one of these sharp, crisp, undamaged coins appears, collectors compete aggressively. The best examples have sold for thousands of dollars, and even lower-grade full-step specimens can attract intense bidding. In a market fueled by rarity and passion, this coin proves condition can push its value into remarkable territory. Market demand is another reason this nickel continues to rise in value. Collectors love Jefferson nickels because they offer an affordable entry point while still holding the possibility of finding a rare gem. The 1964 issue is one of the most searched dates in the entire series. Every time news breaks of another high-value sale, more people start digging into old jars and piggy banks, hoping they've overlooked something special. This increased attention drives the market even higher because the more people searching, the more competition there is to secure the best examples. The appeal of this coin also comes from its place in American history. The early 1960s represented a turning point in U.S. coinage, leading to the removal of silver from circulating dimes and quarters in 1965. Although the nickel remained copper-nickel, the 1964 issue marks the last year before the massive redesign of American coinage systems in response to economic pressure. That historical link adds depth and meaning to the coin, turning it from a simple object into a piece of national memory. For collectors, history always adds weight to value. Even a very dirty 1964 nickel can hold serious potential. Dirt doesn't change a die variety. Dirt doesn't erase the possibility of sharp steps beneath the grime. Dirt doesn't hide the chance that the coin was part of a special mint production. Many incredible discoveries started with coins in terrible condition that just needed closer inspection. Collectors know this, which is why they never dismiss an old nickel until they've checked every detail under good lighting. Your old, dull coin might be a treasure waiting to be recognized. The financial potential behind rare 1964 nickels fuels the imagination. In a market where the right coin can sell for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, the idea of unexpected wealth becomes very real. Stories circulate of lucky finds turning into huge payouts, and every collector dreams of making the next big discovery. That hope, combined with the real documented sales, is what makes this nickel so exciting to look for. It proves that rare coins aren't just collectibles, they can be life-changing windfalls. There is also a growing sense of mystery surrounding the surviving population of truly rare 1964 nickels, especially the special strikes. No one knows exactly how many were made or why they were produced in the first place. Some experts believe they were experimental pieces. Others think they were early test strikes for the 1965 special mint sets, and a few suggest they were created for officials inside the mint. That uncertainty fuels even more excitement because every new discovery adds another piece to the puzzle. When a fresh example surfaces, collectors rush to analyze it, compare die markers, and confirm authenticity. Each discovery proves these coins are far more elusive than anyone once believed, and it's this deep mystery that keeps the 1964 nickel at the top of every treasure hunter's list. The rising popularity of online auctions and coin marketplaces has also pushed the value of rare 1964 nickels to new heights. As more people learn about these coins through social media, documentaries, and collector forums, the competition becomes fierce. A coin that might have sold modestly a decade ago now attracts worldwide attention, driving bidding wars that lift prices higher than ever. Even dirty, Circulated examples with the right characteristics can set off a chain reaction of excitement among collectors and investors. The momentum behind this coin shows no signs of slowing down, and the more awareness it gains, the more valuable each rare find becomes. This growing visibility is turning the 1964 Jefferson nickel into one of the hottest hidden treasures in American numismatics. What makes the hunt for the 1964 nickel even more thrilling is how unpredictable the discoveries can be. People have pulled these coins out of old coffee cans, abandoned storage boxes, inherited collections, and even loose change found in a drawer. Every find feels like uncovering a secret that's been waiting decades to be revealed. The idea that a dirty, worn nickel could suddenly be identified as a rare die variety or even a special strike gives ordinary collectors the same excitement that professionals feel when they uncover a major rarity. It turns every day searching into an adventure because no one knows where the next valuable piece will appear. This sense of possibility is what keeps the 1964 Jefferson nickel so electrifying and why so many people are now taking a closer look at every old coin they come across. For anyone watching this video, the message is simple. Never overlook the coins you already have. Dig through the jars, the boxes, the old piggy banks, the forgotten drawers. A coin you've ignored for years could be a rare 1964 nickel with value far beyond what you ever imagined. It doesn't matter if it's dirty or worn. What matters is the history behind it, the hidden features that might set it apart, and the massive collector interest driving its price higher every year. This coin is a reminder that sometimes fortune hides in plain sight, sitting quietly in the palm of your hand.